A recent study shows that children's behavior improves when they watch less violent TV. The study, published in the journal Pediatrics, monitored the behavior of two groups of preschoolers. Over a 6-month period, the children that watched less violence showed less aggression. The behavior of low-income boys improved the most.
There may already be a problem with President Barack Obama's plan for universal preschool. Head Start says that the new sequestration budget cuts will take away more than $400 million from its education program by the end of this fiscal year. This also means that by September, over 60,000 children will have to be left behind.
The debate over the Keystone Pipeline continues in Washington, D.C. Protesters are concerned with the pipeline's effect on the environment. Ariana Wallstarter has more.
Controversy over the Keystone XL pipeline heightens this week in Washington, D.C. Despite the controversy, the southern portion of the project continues to be built from Oklahoma to Texas. However, thousands of people gathered at the National Mall Sunday to protest against it. Organizers of the protests included the Sierra Club, 350 organization, and the Hip Hop Caucus. It was said to be the biggest environmental rally in history. Activists braved the blistering cold to speak out to President Barack Obama to stop plans for the Keystone XL pipeline.
Obviously, if we don't fight, then the powers that be are going to be left to their own devices. And if they're left to their own devices, they're going to be led by the money that put them in the White House and in Congress.
The Keystone XL pipeline is said to cause extreme damage to the environment. Activists are also worried about spills. The pipeline would carry oil from Alberta, Canada, down to oil refineries all across the Gulf Coast. Protesters came from all over the country to dance, cheer, and raise environmental awareness.
Like, this is an important event today, and I just felt like I was thinking about not going. I was like, I gotta go. The other people are going to show that this is something they care deeply about.
At President Barack Obama's inauguration ceremony, he had made a pledge to act on climate change. Protesters are hoping that the president will respond to the rally and stop the Keystone XL pipeline. Construction of the Oklahoma to Texas portion of the pipeline is 1/3 of the way finished. If not stopped, the southern portion of the pipeline is projected to be completed by the end of 2013. For District Wire News, this is Ariana Wallstarter.
Hugo Chavez is continuing treatment today at a military hospital in his home country. The Venezuelan president had cancer surgery in Cuba over 2 months ago and has been recovering there ever since. Supporters welcome Chavez back with signs and chanting. The president's condition remains a mystery.
The Virginia Senate is scheduled to vote on an internet privacy bill today. If passed, the bill would force internet providers to give parents and guardians access to children's personal online accounts. The bill was proposed after Ricky and Diane Rash had a hard time getting into their son's Facebook account after his suicide in 2011 because of privacy rules.
D.C. Council member David A. Katana is proposing a new anti-truancy bill for D.C. public schools. DCPS officials say that students in the district miss at least 15 days of school each year. The new bill would prosecute parents of students that are constantly late or absent. However, not all D.C. officials are in support. Mayor Vincent Gray feels that the bill would be expensive and oversteps legislative power.
A new Gallup poll shows that Washington, D.C. is the most openly gay community in the nation. Reporter Chris Eldab has more.
According to a new Gallup study, 10% of people living in Washington, D.C. identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender. This is the first time a study estimated an LGBT population by state. Some say that the study is just a reflection of the diversity D.C. has to offer.
One of the reasons that I moved to Washington, D.C. was because I knew that there was such a great diversity of people here, and it's one of the things that makes the city such a wonderful place.
D.C. leads the rest of the nation by far. The next state on the list, Hawaii, is almost 5 percentage points lower than D.C. Even though the study concentrates on the LGBT population, people say the study opens to Washington, D.C.'s openness.
I feel like it's kind of always been a very open city, not just for your sexual orientation, but really, anything in terms of what you want to do with your life.
Many already know of D.C.'s large LGBT population, but this definitely shows where it stands across the nation.
Coming up after the break, A new law in Maryland might make pit bull owners think twice before taking them out in public. We'll tell you why. Stay with us.